At age 11 and today age 15, Chris graduated with a double degree in mathematics and computer science. Chris Wright at Massey University.
I'm fine, thank you, English as well. It's a special day at Massey University. Students gather in the Maths Common Room. For after years of work, today they'll graduate. Among them, a young man who looks like he should be in high school.
I've got this graduation this week, and then I've got 4 vacation courses the week after next.
Chris Butcher spends much of his time explaining how one so young, in his case 15, could be graduating at an age when most people haven't even started university.
They said there was a 15-year-old with a double major in science, and I thought, oh, hey, I bet I know who that is.
Yeah, well, obviously. Thank you.
What are you doing now?
Chris is a small phenomenon from Kakanui near Oamaru. His parents have driven him all the way up to Palmerston North for this special day. Doctorates too are being handed out. He could have one of those before he's 20. Does it come easily?
Well, I don't know. I've got no standards to judge that by. How other people find work.
Is it hard being a child prodigy as you're labelled now?
Well, again, I have no standards to judge it by, but from what I know of other people,
Nice shot, Chucky.
He's a Kiwi, a self-confessed geek, who helped design the biggest computer game in the world.
Do you think you're paid ridiculously high amounts of money?
Yeah, I think I'm paid too much, absolutely.
Welcome back. I'm Mark Kreisel. The year is 2552. Your mission is clear. The fate of the galaxy and humanity itself is hanging in the balance. It's up to you, yes, you, to save the Earth from the enemy, nasty critters known as the Covenant. But don't panic. What I'm talking about is a computer game called Halo 2. It's a pop phenomenon, which is also very, very big business. And at its centre is a New Zealander from the heartland of the South Island. And a warning, this story contains scenes of computer game violence, rated R16.
Oh, do I have to kill all you guys? Nice shot, Chucky.
I got it. Keep it in cover, keep it in cover.
It's exciting and exhilarating to see everything coming together at the same time.
Oh God, respawn.
When you're in the depths of crunch, when you're finishing off a game project, you would get people who don't leave for 3 or 4 days at a time. But you really don't have anything else besides your work and your family. And sometimes, you know, it's a very hard balancing act.
Do you think you got that balance, Chris?
I think I need to do a lot better.
This is Chris Butcher, born and raised in North Otago, now living in Seattle. A computer genius and one of Halo 2's lead engineers. One of the key people who made this game a reality.
I'm 26.
26, working with a budget of tens of millions of dollars.
Yeah, it's quite stunning, really.
Chris was a child prodigy, one of the brightest New Zealanders of his generation. He was reading at 2, passed school certificate by 8. And at 15, he graduated from Massey University with a double degree in mathematics and computer science.
Does it come easily?
Well, I don't know. I've got no standards to judge that by. How other people find work.
Is it hard being a child prodigy as you're labelled now?
Well, again, I have no standards to judge it by, but from what I know of other people, no, it's not that hard at all.
How different are you now from that boy back then?
Oh, I think working with other people for the last 5 years has certainly made me a lot less arrogant than I was back then, which is a good thing. And, you know, we all keep learning and growing and developing new skills. I think I'm a lot more rounded now.
What is it like being as bright as you are? Does it make you more confident in what you do?
Yeah, I think it does add, you know, a little extra element of confidence. You know, in some ways, it's this extra edge that I have, which I can bring to bear on problems if I need to. You know, it is nice knowing that you can pull it out of your back pocket and go and solve some problem really quickly if you have to.
It might be a game, but the stakes don't come much higher. You're saving the world, and it's a bloody business. The mayhem in this virtual world comes out of the minds of the people who work here. This is Geek Heaven, Bungie, owned by Microsoft and the makers of Halo 2, set to be one of the biggest and most popular computer games in the real world. Microsoft expects Halo 2 and its platform Xbox to make the world's richest man, Bill Gates, even richer.
Did you ever think you'd be working for Microsoft on such a huge game?
No, absolutely not. I mean, when I got into this, as you say, I wanted to work with Bungie, to work with a group of talented people. And, you know, we still are, but now we just have this massive pool of resources we can draw on.
So how did you get into Bungie?
Well, you know, I was playing a lot of video games back in college, you know, on the side as I was working on my doctorate. And one of the games I was playing was one of Bungie's games called Myth. And I noticed they had a job opportunity on their website. So wrote up my resume, wrote up a little graphical demo to send them, and they liked it. And I knew some people at Bungie, so I kept, like, hammering on them to try and get my foot in the door. And eventually they decided to call me up for a phone interview.
He got the job, and Microsoft liked Bungie so much, they bought the company. Now Chris works for one of the richest companies in the world.
Is this the dream job for you?
Yeah, I think it kind of is at the moment, actually. You know, one of the things I love about this job is that, you know, you have the ability to really create these worlds. They're worlds inside the computer, but, you know, I think they're still just as compelling.
Seattle is Computer City.
So Seattle's really a company town, isn't it?
A little bit. I think if you look at all these cars, you've probably seen Microsoft parking permits on a fair number of them.
This is where Chris lives, and as well as Microsoft, it's a city famous for its wet climate, grunge rock, and coffee.
So what would you like, Chris?
Americano, actually.
Bill Gates' Microsoft dominates the city like it dominates the world of computing.
The software engineers at Microsoft are valued highly, so they're just paid ridiculous amounts of money. I mean, I don't think anybody really needs that.
Do you think you're paid ridiculously high amounts of money?
Yeah, I think I'm paid too much, absolutely.
Microsoft employs 35,000 people here, giving it a reputation as something of a Death Star, a huge conglomerate which gobbles up all before it.
I think In many ways, if you were working on the Death Star, it would be a lot like working for Microsoft. You know, you're just doing your job, and it's all very orderly, and occasionally, you know, a directive comes down from on high, but really there's only a couple of Dark Lords, and you hardly ever see them.
Have you met the big Dark Lord?
You mean Bill? I have actually. He's come through the office a couple times to look at our stuff, and I also have been in a couple of meetings with him talking about Xbox stuff. It's interesting. He's a very, very focused man. He knows what he wants to get, and he's not prepared to, you know, mince words.
The line between work and play is a thin one around here.
So what have we got in here?
Well, I guess some of the guys decided they needed to play multiplayer today.
This is work?
Yeah, I guess so. You know, we've been playing this for so long, I think everybody's pretty much expert at it by now. But, you know, they're still having fun, still new strategies coming up. It's just madness, there's many people in here. You know.
Are you happy with this game now?
I've made my peace with it. There's so many things about it that still infuriate me, but I really enjoy it. And I'm looking forward to playing it with everybody else in the world gets online.
5 million people bought the original Halo, and Bungie spent 2 years developing its successor. The process is similar to making a movie. Writers produce a script. There are 17,000 lines of combat dialogue. Well-known actors deliver the lines.
Chief, we've got a problem. Kill me or release me, Parasite.
Hold on to your potato.
A score is composed. And people like Chris create the world, the sets if you like, where all this action takes place.
We do everything we can to make sure the characters feel real. One of the things that's very important is you set up a background story that lets the characters have those emotions so that the player can believe that there's something for them they're really there to care about.
Just how real can you make those characters?
Well, you know, actually, Steven Spielberg said the test of when games have really arrived is when we can make games make people cry.
Do you think that's really achievable?
Oh, it's absolutely achievable, yeah.
All right, Mark, so this is teams. You're the guy on the bottom.
Yeah, always
Find
the
the
bottom.
others and kill them.
A week before Halo 2 hits the streets, Chris lets me join him for an online Xbox blast with other members of the Bungie team.
Come to our base, I think.
After a 100-hour working week, this is how Chris relaxes.
What are we? Blue?
We're red. Yeah, I'm red. And you're red.
Shoot you.
No.
Is this relaxation as well as work for you?
It's not really relaxation when there's people online calling you a bitch and shooting your corpse.
I picked up 3 plasma grenades. Is that going to be handy?
Should be, yeah.
I'm dead already. There.
That's me.
Down.
That's me.
Oh, I'm going to shoot you now.
30 seconds,
How come I couldn't kill him? I shot him heaps. Now, be honest, have you ever played with anybody as bad as me?
Probably not, no.
Suddenly, an intruder. There's someone online playing the game who shouldn't be.
Hey, Roka, who are you, by the way?
What do you mean, who am I?
Whereabouts at?
I'm in Cleveland, Ohio.
How'd you get the game?
Who wants to know?
Well, the rest of us are all Bungie people on here, and we're wondering how you have the game.
My friend gave it to me.
No one should have the game outside of Bungie or Microsoft for at least another week. This could be a major breach of security.
Yeah, I don't really know how he's gotten a hold of it. If he's downloaded it and is like playing a pirated version, yeah, he is breaking the law.
He said his friend gave it to him.
Right, yeah, I'm sure his friend did give it to him.
And this is what all the fuss is about. When Halo 2 finally hit the shops last month, there were midnight queues all around the world. Generating $125 million on day one, it broke all kinds of entertainment records.
It's arguably the biggest day in entertainment history.
Microsoft Game Studios Director of Marketing, Chris DeCesar, no stranger to hype.
It's opening day, we look box office receipts, and its opening day will be bigger than Lord of the Rings, all 3 movies.
A triumph for Chris Butcher. Ironically, the power now lies with the guys who were thought of as nerds at school.
Is the rock launcher down?
Blessed are these geeks because they have inherited the virtual Earth.
Don't take this the wrong way, but were you ever called a geek or a nerd at school?
Oh yeah, a fair amount. You know, Waitaki Boys is a very strong traditional sports-oriented school, so you know, they do a lot to try and encourage the intellectual side. But you know, there's always kids who are not very fond of nerds.
You've got the last laugh now.
Oh, I don't know about that. I mean, I've gone back a couple of times to New Zealand and seen them, and you know, almost everybody's happy. I'm really happy doing what I'm doing. I don't know.
Have the nerds and the geeks inherited the earth?
You know, it's interesting. I think there have been lots of ages like that in the past. You know, 50 years from now, the kinds of interactions you have with computers, I think pretty much everybody in the developed world is going to have a lot more of that in them. So I don't know, I think the nerds have got an edge for now, but people may be catching up.
And just in case you're interested, I recently received an email from Chris with my Halo 2 accuracy rating. It was 0%.